Hi everyone, it's Lizzie from Faraway Crafts. I'm going to show you the basics of crochet. I tried pretty valiantly for about 2 years to try and learn crochet off YouTube, and I completely failed. So I ended up going to some classes, and I'm hoping to share with you some tips that I learned so that you can begin your own crochet journey. To start with, I'll talk about the tools. As a beginner, you probably don't need that many tools. Obviously, you need the crochet hook. I was told to start by getting these sort of metal hooks like this. After a while of crocheting for many hours, I realized that as I hold the crochet hook like this, that little flat bit cuts into my finger and it's super uncomfortable. So I now almost exclusively use what's called an ergonomic crochet hook, and it's got this nice rubber end on it. We sell both types on our website, so if you're looking for supplies, just check it out. I'll put a link in the description. The next thing you'll need is some wool. The crochet that I do is called amigurumi. It's a type of crochet where you do really tight chains and stitches, and then you end up stuffing something to make like a little toy or a little mascot or something like that. So I use this wool here. It's a nice cotton acrylic wool. We sell this on our website in quite a big range of colours, so go ahead and have a little look at that. You might want to use these sort of safety pin looking style things. These are actually stitch markers. For amigurumi, or if you're ever crocheting a pattern that says it's crocheting in the round, you definitely want to pick up some of these, unless you are an absolute genius and can count several times in your head and work out where you started. This is going to be your best friend. So before you actually rip off the label of your wool and get started, which is a mistake I made and do not recommend, you want to have a look, turn it over and have a look somewhere. There'll be something on there that tells you what size hook you need. So for crochet, we're looking at this column here, which says to me I need a 3mm hook. Now I'm in the UK, I'm going to use pretty much exclusively UK terms. There is a slight difference because, bless you lot in America, I don't know why you decided to change all the terms and all of the hooks, but you did. So I'll try my best to just use UK terms. The easiest way to work out whether your pattern or whatever it is you're working from is in American terms or UK terms, is to look to see whether there is something called a single crochet stitch in there. The UK doesn't have a single crochet stitch, so if you see SC or something like that, you're working with an American pattern and you need to use a conversion. So before you rip the label off, have a look at the hook size. I know, because I've been doing crochet for a little while, that my tension is a lot tighter, so I always go down a full hook size. If you're crocheting amigurumi or you want a tight pattern or you're going to stuff something, you definitely want to do this, because otherwise your stuffing or whatever it is might appear through your stitches. So go ahead and take this off. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how to, I believe in knitting it's called cast on. I'm not sure if there's an equivalent term in crochet, so I'm just going to call it, I'm going to show you how to start. You don't even need to pick up your crochet hook yet. And it's a little bit difficult. There are quite a few different techniques for doing what's called a, I think it's called a slip knot. I can't even remember. This is great. So get a nice little bit long bit of your wool, let it trail. You can put it on the floor if you want. I'm not going to do that because I've got 4 pets in this house and it will turn into an absolute circus. So to start with, pop the yarn over your fingers, wedge your thumb over it, and then you want to come round. Go round your thing, create an X at the front and create parallel lines at the back. Now, you might find it easier if you just go over 3 fingers. I certainly do. I was taught a slightly different way, but now I do this exclusively. Go round, wedge it with your little finger so it's inside your little finger here. You've got a nice X on the back, but it's the front side that you want to look at. Grab your crochet hook, have it facing down and go under the first line, hook over the second line. You can kind of see, I'm using slightly small hook, but you can kind of see that I have actually. And then what you want to do, you pull it, go down, oops, this is great, under, come round, twist it round so it's wedged on your hook, pop it down the hook so there's no chance of falling off. Take your hands out, but hold on to the tail end, the shorter end, and pull tight. Now that's massive, so you need to make that smaller. Grab the end that's attached to your yarn and pull. You don't want it too tight, otherwise you're going to have an absolute nightmare trying to do any crochet stitches. If you have done it too tight, just wiggle it around. But also, this is classic, you don't want it too tight and you don't want it too loose. Really useful. Have a look. What you want is a tiny, tiny gap about that. There's actually two ways for you to hold your crochet hook. Nearly everybody in my class when I started decided they were going to hold it like this. I hate that. I find it super uncomfortable. I hold it like this. So how do you hold your yarn? Good question. Loop it round. Come back over. So you've got a loop here and you're now over your first finger. I then come back. So I've got a strange sort of almost triangle with a loop at the bottom. And what this will do, this will let you hold whatever it is that you're stitching. And you use this finger almost to deal with your tension and to make sure that it's not going to slide around everywhere. So nearly all crochet patterns that I deal with either start with what's called a magic ring, which we're not going to do in this video because even though that's something I use all the time, I absolutely hate it. We'll see if we can give that a go in another video. A lot of them start with chains, so it might say 2 chain, 6 chain, 10 chain. As a beginner, I recommend you just sit there and you chain over and over again, and then you undo it and you keep tying your slip knot, casting on, and so you get a nice feel of how to crochet and how you want to hold the hook and how you want to hold the wool. So to do a chain stitch, you want to go under the yarn that's on this finger, come through, and what you're going to do is a little bit tricky to start with. You're going back through the loop that is on your hook. And I'd say to do that maybe 10 times. That's 2. It can be a little tricky, particularly if you crochet with super tight tension like I do. 3. 4. So what you can see I'm doing is I'm going underneath the hook, the wool, sorry, and coming back round, and I'm going back through this loop that's on the hook. And you might need to wiggle it. It's super hot today. It's something like 30 degrees here in the UK, and obviously complaining about the weather is a national hobby. So I just needed to get a little complaint in there because it's absolutely baking. So I'm sliding around everywhere. It's very hot. All the pets are unhappy. But we'll carry on crocheting. So this is a good opportunity. I've now lost count because I've been talking. To count your stitches, I'm just going to pull my hook out so I can point and show you. You can see on here there's some V's. So you've got a V, a V, a V, and those are your stitches. So you can see I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back in, pull it a little tight if you've come off the hook, get going again, wrap it all around, and carry on. And if you're an absolute beginner crocheter, I'd say you do this over and over again till you're comfortable holding the hook, you're comfortable doing the chain stitch, because it is really a basic stitch in crochet that you really need to know. It comes in super handy for everything, whether that's amigurumi, Tunisian crochet, regular crochet, all of those things. So what do? You've decided you are absolutely fed up, you want to go and watch the telly, you want to go and do something else, but you don't want to leave it. You don't want it to unravel. The easiest way, make a massive, massive loop. And it's unlikely, unless you've got a circus of animals like I do, that someone is going to come and pull that so tight that it's going to unravel all your stitches. To make extra care, sometimes I just hook it over this. And even if you pull that tight now, it's not going to come undone. That's one way of doing it. If you don't do that, what's going to happen is if you just carry on pulling your crochet to undo it, you pull the wool that's attached to the ball of yarn, and it will literally undo all of your precious crochet stitches. Now that's great if you're a beginner. I think you should start again and carry on over and over again, save the wool. After a little while, it can go a bit fuzzy, so just cut it off and start again. But crochet, it takes a lot of patience. And don't worry if you don't get it on YouTube. There are so many local, I mean, I think there's some local Facebook groups and things like that, and local craft clubs I'm sure that you can join. And if you've got any requests of things that you'd like to see for crochet, just let me know and I'll see if I can do a video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to try our best to do video every couple of weeks. And if you want crochet to appear there sooner rather than later, just let me know. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching.